You can call me Josh. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I am a Red Sox fan, in case you're wondering. Usually I expect more booze this close to New York. Okay. I am married to a high school social studies teacher. Does anybody know any teachers? Anyone know any teachers? A few of you? Yeah. Is anybody married to a teacher? No? Well, I'm married to a teacher. I have 2 kids, and I have 3 cats. These are not actually my cats. These are just 3 cute cats I found on the internet. I love hearing everyone say, "Aww." My cats are cute. They're just not this cute. My day job is that I am a software engineer. That means I write code. Has anyone ever written code before? Yeah? Well, that's what I do during the day. And on the evenings and weekends, that is when I write pictures. Like all of these. And these. And these. I write them on the evenings, sometimes on the weekends, sometimes on my lunch breaks, and my coffee breaks, and my bathroom breaks. Really, anytime I get a chance to write a picture. Now, this is a picture of me when I was a little kid, and I'm holding a book. It is called What Baby Sees. Now, I do not remember this book at all. It looks like I'm about to read it to my little brother or something. Maybe I'm about to shove him over. I don't know. But I do not remember this book. This is not an important book for me. But when I became an author, I went to my parents' house to see if they had any pictures of me as a kid holding a book. And this was the only one they had. So here's what I want all of you to do when you get home today. The very first thing you do when you get home, I want you to go and find your favorite book. And then take a picture of yourself holding your favorite book, so that someday, when you are an author, you will have a picture of yourself holding your favorite book in your presentation when you speak at libraries, instead of me, who has a picture of a book that I don't even remember. Also, make sure to cut your little annoying brother out of the picture when you do it. This is the second best picture I could find at my parents' house. It was me holding a Scholastic Book Club flyer. I don't know why my parents took a picture of me holding a Scholastic Book Club flyer, but they did. This is the first story I ever wrote. It is called Alligator and Porcupine. And I even drew the pictures. Here, I'll read it to you right now. Alligator and Porcupine were walking together and talking. The end. You're supposed to clap when I finish the story. Thank you. So you can see I wrote the word porcupine on top of the porcupine. I also tried to write the word alligator on top of the alligator, but I ran out of room due to the highly realistic vertical tail that alligators have. And so I put the "der" up top. Now it looks like it says Dr. Alago. And it's actually a character in a book I'm working on. Hopefully, Elm Street Books will be able to sell it in 2032 or something like that. This is a picture of me when I was in first grade. Do we have any first graders here? Oh, awesome. When I was in first grade, I loved to read and write poetry. Does anybody like poetry? Are there any poets here? Oh, that's awesome. So today is actually the last day of National Poetry Month. April is National Poetry Month. But true story, you're actually allowed to read poetry all 12 months of the year. But when I was a kid, I used to write poems about some of my favorite athletes. And I wrote poems about Roger Clemens, who was a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, Ray Bourque, who was a hockey player for the Bruins, and I wrote a poem about Larry Bird, who was a basketball player for the Celtics. And so the Patriots were terrible when I was a kid, so I didn't write about them. But this is my Larry Bird poem. I'll read you the beginning. The game has just started. Larry Bird has the ball. He just started to dribble. But that isn't all. He shot, got the basket. 2 points for Bird. The crowd cheered so loud they made sure Bird heard. And you can see, even as a little kid, I liked to rhyme. I liked to write and rhyme, just like I did back in when I was as I do today. When I was in 5th grade, I got this certificate of merit for being the most innocent student. I also don't know why my parents saved this one, but they did. This is me when I was in middle school. You can see my little brother is to my right side. The kid next to me is actually BJ Novak. He and I used to hang out together. We used to write stories together, and he even blurred the back of my book. But we went to high school. Oh, yes, thank you. Clapping for BJ. Appreciate it. But when you could see in middle school, I had an amazing fashion sense, especially the glasses. My wife thinks I look like the old man from Up when he was a kid, which I kind of agree with. And then when I was in high school, I used to write for the school newspaper about whatever I wanted to, like Simpsons or Halloween or Sports Center. There's a town called Waltham in Massachusetts that has this great street called Moody Street. And on Moody Street, there's all these awesome restaurants and shops. And I wrote a story about this street, and there was a store that was empty. It was a vacant store, but it had a sign in the window that said "Store to Let," which means it's available to be rented. You could rent this store. But I pretended that it said "Store Toilet," and I acted like I had to pee. And that's the picture that ended up in the newspaper. I can see some of you look confused. A newspaper is how we used to get information in the last century before the internet. You might have seen them at your grandparents' houses or things like that.